In this chapter, we're going to summarize all the different purchasing procedures and documents that we have seen in the P2P cycle. What was the basic P2P cycle that we have seen? We've said that the first step is a purchase order, right? We issue a purchase order to the vendor. So we want 100 pounds of coffee, we issue a purchase order to the vendor. Now, the vendor receives that PO, and with respect to that PO, he's gonna send his truck with 100 pounds of coffee. We are going to receive that into SAP, and that step is called as a goods receipt. And he's also going to send an invoice with respect to that PO, and that step is called as an invoice receipt. So in this picture, I'm trying to create an invoice receipt with reference to the goods receipt, but in fact it's created with reference to the PO. That's how we have been doing it so far. Now there is a way to do an invoice receipt with respect to goods receipt, but we have not seen that yet. So this is the basic P2P cycle. Basic procure to pay cycle. Okay. Now, in this procure to pay cycle, what's the basic master data that we have used? Vendor, and then we have chosen material, in this case coffee. So vendor, material, and the other one is info record, which is going to contain the combination of vendor material, which basically says this vendor is ready to supply this material at this price under these terms. So this is the basic master data that we have used so far. After we have seen this, we have expanded on the P2P cycle. We talked about something called as outline agreements, right? So an outline agreement is basically either a contract or a scheduling agreement. And these are typically long-term agreements where we, the coffee shop, where the vendors agreed to supply us coffee, sugar, flour, whatever, at a fixed price on a long-term basis. And why did we enter into that agreement? Because typically vendors give better prices when we enter into long-term contracts. And based on this contract or scheduling agreement, we could create a PO. With the scheduling agreement, we could create a GR. We have seen the different types of contracts and different types of scheduling agreements. We have gone one step further, and then after some time, say we think that more vendors are out there supplying coffee, we thought, why not we ask these other vendors for a quotation and see if they provide a better price. So all along we have been doing only business with 4001 ABC Foods. Now we want to expand our vendor network, and we sent these RFQs to all the different vendors. And we got responses from these vendors that we documented as quotations. Now we liked some of the prices, but we did not like some of the prices. We have, say for example, we liked the prices by 4003 and we sent rejection letters to the first two vendors and accepted the third vendor 4003 as the vendor for which we are going to create further orders. Now this does not necessarily mean that we always use that vendor, but we just know that there are choices out there. We could use vendor 4003 for better prices on coffee. Maybe he's not able to provide better prices on flour, on sugar, but purely for the purpose of coffee, he is able to provide us a better price. So we like him. So we want to create vendor 4003 as a good source of supply for coffee going forward. So on a successful quotation bid, we created sources of supply. What were the sources of supply? One was purchase info record. The second was a contract. The third was a scheduling agreement. These were called source of supply, right? Now we also know what happens to the basic P2P cycle after we have completed the process. Now there could be returns whereby we return the goods to the vendor using a goods issue and we create a credit memo, right? This is created with reference to the PO, right? And we have also seen subsequent credit or debits, which are basic credit memos and debit memos created directly with reference to the PO. So these are subsequent credit or debit memos. So this is a summary of all the different transactions that we have seen so far and all the master data that we have understood so far. Now this is by no means an exhaustive list of transactions. There could be more variations possible. For example, we have not seen consignments. We have not seen subcontracting. We have not seen stock transfer orders. We have not seen blanket POs. Similarly, there are so many other concepts that we have not seen so far, but we have used them. We have not seen pricing. We have not seen document type customization. We have not seen master data customization like vendor master, material master. We have not seen source determination, partner determination, text determination, and we have not seen the release procedure, vendor evaluation, vendor confirmation, version management. So these are important topics that we are yet to see. And these are all part of purchasing. But we're going to stop purchasing here, and in the next sections we are going to focus on another major pillar of SAP MM. It's called inventory management. So let's start to focus on inventory management. But not to worry, we're going to get back to these topics in a later set of sections.